Yeah, it's almost a done deal. And the reason is that I know I can excite the grassroots, and that's where the Democrats have lost ever since Ann Richards. They have failed to excite the grassroots. So the libertarians and the independents just stay home. This time, the Kinky Democrat idea, the year of the Kinky Democrat, it'd be like a Reagan Democrat, except going the other way. The Reagan Democrat voted Republican. The Kinky Democrat votes Democratic in the Democratic primary, which, by the way, Alex, is very easy to do. It's an open primary. You can be a Republican and you can say, I've had it with these two Barbies spending all this money attacking each other for what? They've both been in politics their whole adult lives. They've got nothing fresh or new to offer. We'll vote for Kinky. We'll be Kinky Democrats.
As much as I don't like Rick Perry, and he's been on the show before, by the way, as much as I don't like him, I really don't like Kay Belly Hutchinson. I mean, she really is a completely fake person. I mean, at least Perry's got some personality, and I mean, with her, this really is a power-hungry crone.
Rick is I do think he's a nice guy. I would say he's clueless as far as the people are concerned. He's had plenty of time now. He's had 9 years, right? He's moved us, I think, from 49th to 48th in education in that time.
Well, which one do you dislike more, policy-wise, or just the whole?
I'm not a good politician, but a good politician would tell you that we don't look ahead of that. We're just trying to win the primary here, because I know that if I can win the primary, I can be the governor. That I'm sure of.
Absolutely. I mean, the Democrats ran weak candidates last time.
Yeah. I tell you, I fell under Jesse Ventura's orbit there, and there's a lot of wisdom that those people in Minnesota have. But the honest to God truth is there's more Democrats in this state than there are Republicans right now. The latest Gallup polls show that. And if you add the independents and the libertarians to that, it's a slam dunk. I mean, we will beat the Republicans, but we'll only do it with a guy like me who is a common sense, old school guy.
Your only problem is going to be, people are already finding out Obama's going back on his promises, and that Democratic support may be eroding by 2010 somewhat. But I still think it's going to be, like you said, for the first time in decades, or in half a century, Texas is more Democrat than Republican.
Obama's done a couple of really good things. One of them, he's made people believe that their vote matters, that their vote could count. He
did bring in a lot of new voters.
Alex, I can't tell you how many people I talked to who supported me and just concluded that there was no way I could win, and their vote wouldn't.
Very foolish.
Didn't vote. Yeah, lots of those folks. And this time, I think they may take it.
All right, let me throw the phone number out. 1-800-259-9231. Specific, quick questions for Kinky Friedman in this segment and the next. 1-800-259-9231 on this live Wednesday, June 3rd, 2009 transmission. Kinky, any other quick points you want to make before we start taking calls?
None at all.
All right, let's go to James in North Carolina. James, you're on the air. Welcome. Oh, yeah, Kinky needs to put his headphones on. Sorry. Go ahead, Kinky. Yeah, go ahead. You're on the air, James. I didn't give Kinky much of a warning there. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, my hair looks like a Lyle Lovett starter
kit. Oh, it looks
right
good.
There.
Lyle Lovett starter kit. Now, that's not a Barbie, though. Look at him, folks. That's a real guy.
A real thing.
That's not a painted trollop like the governor. Anyways, I'm sorry. He looks like a rough, tough prospector from Gunsmoke or something. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
James. Go on, James.
Go ahead, James.
He's the real deal. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm a Kinky and Jesse person. I sent you an email because I've been wanting to do something for years, and not taking anything away from Kinky, but I did want to make this comment that the last two elections, I wrote in Jesse's name for president.
Well, we've asked Ventura to run for president.
I know,
and run for Senate, and he just is so sick of the whole system. He's running off and hiding in Mexico surfing, and I don't blame him.
I don't blame him a bit.
But James, I appreciate your call. Let me get a comment from Kinky on that. I mean, that's what's so nasty about politics. You are wading into a cesspool.
Yeah, well, Jesse did some very good things in Minnesota. He was one of the architects of Minnesota Care, which made them #1 in health care coverage. Alex, do you know where Texas ranks in health care coverage? Would you like to hazard a guess?
I believe we're one of the worst.
No, we're not. We are 50th. We're dead last, 50th in health care coverage. I mean, if I was a member of the media, I'd be concerned about that, about the lottery, about the border, about every time you turn around, you see a toll road. And by the way, don't ask for who the road tolls. It tolls for Rick Perry and his cronies. And it never stops tolling.
Well, that's why Perry should be impeached. He keeps saying he's against the toll roads and special interest. He's the guy vetoing the legislature. I mean, this guy is an outrageous deceiver.
Well, he plays the system well, Alex. He plays it beautifully. Bernie Madoff would have been a good governor by that standard. He really knows the ins and outs of the system, too. So people wonder, can Kinky govern? Does he know this stuff? Yeah, I know this stuff. I know that no governor has ever run the schools or the prisons or the highways. We only had one governor who knew how to plan a highway. Do you know who that was? It's a trivia question.
Who?
Ann Richards. No other governor knows how to do that. But they appoint people, and Perry has appointed the wrong people. He's appointed the kind of people that made Louisiana a corrupt cesspool for the past century, politically.
Well, that's the problem with corruption like they have in Mexico and North Korea. Once it gets in place, it's very hard to dislodge, and it's going to seed right now.
And we just got no common sense. As far as this casino gambling's going, we're building roads in Louisiana right now. We're building public schools in Louisiana. I mean, why aren't we more concerned with getting the money back here for our own economy in Texas?
Well, I'm no big fan of gambling, but
it'll save Galveston.
But certainly what it used to be there. But I mean, the whole issue is that why do you have the state running it? I think the state should get out of the lottery, and if people want to have that stuff, that's their business.
Well, it certainly shouldn't be a foreign corporation. Texas has leaned on foreign corporations for the toll roads. We do for everything. If we do build a fence there with Mexico, it's probably a foreign corporation that's going to have to run it. That's just ridiculous. I mean, we either do it ourselves or don't do it.
Yeah, the crazy thing is you've talked about how the lottery's run by an Italian company. I had the Chronicle come out and say it's not true that Centra is Spanish. Centra on record is a Spanish company. I mean, the level of disinformation.
I've spoken with Elliot Shafley, who I believe is a Senate in the legislature. He's a liberal El Paso guy. He's a very good guy. But he was in on the meeting with the Centra guys. And he says they asked Centra, in the last 50 years, the last 5 years of the 50-year lease, the last 5 years, what would it cost a Texan to drive 10 miles, say? And the Centra boys said, well, that'll take some time to compute. And they said, we've got time. Tell us. And they computed it, and they figured it out. In the last 5 years of the lease with Centra, it will cost the Texan $15 to drive 10 miles. That's the deal Rick Perry's offering us.
Well, I saw the paper admitting that it was $160-something, I forget the exact amount, to drive from Austin to Dallas and back. I mean, that turns your car into a taxi cab.
Alex, we are no longer the minority. What we're saying is believed by the majority of the people, okay? They agree with us. It's just a question of getting them excited, getting the grassroots excited enough to vote.
All right, we're going to come back and take a few final phone calls with you in the final segment, Kinky Friedman, but plug one more time that benefit for dogs.
Sure. Go to kinkyfriedman.com. Check it out. It's June 13th, Saturday. It's at Echo Hill Ranch in the Texas Hill Country. Jerry Jeff Walker, Ramblin' Jack Elliott, and Kinky will be there, the three of us. And, of course, Chuck Wagon, Cowboy Barbecue, and a tour of Utopia Animal Rescue Ranch. Go to kinkyfriedman.com and get some tickets and help us. All
right, we'll come right back and take a few phone calls in the final segment with Kinky Friedman. And I got a bunch of news coming up with what's happening with the economy, General Motors going bankrupt, the dollar plunging in value, and we're going to talk for about 30 minutes with Steve Voss. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
No, thank you.
Baby's dying.
Kinky Friedman is such a character. He's giving me cigars, Snickers bars.
The president likes to share.
No, it is good. He like it
for the common humanity in all of us.
No, I like it. It's good. No, I mean, you're just friendly. You're a real Texas character. We like it. They say I'm one of those, too. And we hear one of them right there. That's Willie Nelson, one of your good buddies, too, as well.
Willie?
Willie's going to be supporting you for governor, isn't he?
Absolutely.
I know he hates the toll roads.
Well, everybody does. I mean, particularly when, everybody in Dallas, I know for sure, said within 20 years, it was said, this road will pay for itself. Well, now it's been 50 years, 60 years. It never pays for itself, Alex.
Yeah,
it just keeps coming.
Let's take a few phone calls. Now, let's talk to Mike in California, Chris, Heather, and others. Mike, you're on the air with Kinky Friedman. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, it's Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Actually, I didn't know Kinky was going to be on the air today. I had a few other questions. I don't want to take up a lot of time.
I'm going to put you on hold then. I said I opened the phones up for Kinky Friedman. Do you have a question for him? Okay, thank you, Mike. Mike, I'm going to put you on hold. I said I'm taking calls for Kinky Friedman. I understand everything's going to hell in a handbasket. I'll get to you coming up later.
California guys are ruining Texas anyway.
Anyways, Chris in Toronto. Well, this is even further away.
Okay,
God. Okay, Chris in Toronto. Go ahead. Are you for Kinky Friedman?
I guess you're going to have to put me on hold, too, because I had to tell you something about what's going on.
Okay, Chris. Let's talk to Heather in Texas. Heather in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
Heather.
Hello. I wanted to talk to you about how you felt about the sobriety checkpoints that was in legislation in Congress.
The blood sucking. We got the feds coming in, and they take your blood with these fake group warrants, and they want to do it statewide. Are you for cops with injectors and are sucking blood?
No, of course I'm not. And I think the legislatures have been I can't believe the kind of what they're dealing with, what they're spending time that they think is important.
Oh, it's like vampires.
Everything else will go into hell in Texas, and this is what they're dealing with, yeah.
I'm trying to make teeth like a vampire. How do you do that?
That's good. That's pretty good right there, Alex.
If I do that to my 1-year-old, she starts crying.
Look at that.
Anyway, it's a big, ugly face. And you're about to start crying? You don't like it?
You spook little Juford there.